what I have to present tonight?
Yeah, I think those slides you set up tell a good story. It makes sense.
Okay, so this, what it is it's called a public hearing, where basically we have to take and present what we're doing with our Title VI funds. So I can't see what I'm presenting right now, but can everybody else see? Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
I can see it as well.
Okay, so basically the description of our program, you know, for our American Indian and Alaska Native students, Red Wing coordinates activities with Prairie Island, and we work together to have a pretty robust program to help kids K through 12 through using our liaisons, which Prairie Island hires. And then we work closely with Phil, who is our district level liaison, and he is hired through funds from the Minnesota funding that we did. That's the $85,000 that we talked about earlier, guys. So what we do is we coordinate services and development through the whole program. Teachers new to the community have an opportunity to go out and meet with Paul. And the last time we did it, Paul's son was the speaker. And they get introduced to Prairie Island and some of the traditions out there. We do workshops and sessions throughout the year. Our group is planning on having some Indian education specific training, and Phil and I just got notice for next year. Where is that gonna? Well, it'll be at Mystic Lake, the first week of November, and then again, a drive for our group is cultural awareness, education, and sensitivity. Now we have to talk about in this grant where we share our assessment data, and we share them through a public hearing like this, but also the data will be shared with our Native American parent family or parent committee that we have, and then within a state written report. Last year, we didn't make any changes with that data due to COVID. We also in there have to talk about how we collaborate with the tribes. The Native American liaison has reached out to families via phone, email, and in-person visits. The school district frequently consults with Paul out at Prairie Island, and the education director attends parent meetings to obtain feedback, share information as able. The district Indian education director also attends parent meetings on a regular basis and helps plan graduation and all those other things. The objectives for our program is to increase achievement, increase knowledge of cultural identity and awareness, increase school attendance rates, decrease school dropout rates, increase grad rates and career readiness skills, increase parental involvement, increase native language instruction programs. These are the things that we're working on, and we put these right in our application for Title VI funding. Now, the budget information, it's a small number. Phil has been working on increasing the numbers of kids that we have sign up for this, but this is what we're allocated, $23,721. 3% or $712 goes to 256 for administrative costs. 97% or $23,000 and change goes right to PI. And what that is, there's a contract with Prairie Island, and that allows for the PI liaisons to serve any student, whether they're PI or not. And that keeps the district from discriminating, so we can serve all the kids. And then the general education assistance that we have, again, Phil is our district homeschool liaison, and he does all kinds of things district-wide to work with families, connect families to the liaisons, connect families to me, counselors, advocating for Native American student groups. NASA, Phil's also now tried to connect the NASA group with the BSU group, which will help with that cultural awareness piece. So that is my whole presentation. That was short and sweet, but that's where the money goes, and that's what we have to do. So now I'd like to allow time and for any things that you'd like to consider and share with us so we can take notes on those and make changes as needed.
You're muted, Tino.
No, I'm good to go. Sorry.
Does anybody have any questions or comments or want to put some thoughts out there?
I have something
Jay?
really quick.
Oh, go ahead, Phil.
I think we all need to advocate and get the word out that we need to have our Native American community and their families fill out the Title VI form, because some of them aren't. So let's just put the word out that we need to get that. I mean, every family should fill it out. So just, let's just spread the word.
Yeah, Phil, this is Karsten Anderson, the superintendent, and I want to add to what you just said. I think it's really good to have, any eligible Native American child or family, fill out that Title VI form. The best part is that the money flows directly to Prairie Island. It's not a way to generate money, for the general fund of the district. It really goes back into partially reimbursing Prairie Island for everything they do. And, I just want to add a few thank yous. There may be some other comments too, but first to everyone on the parent committee. I know that all of you have been spending a lot of time in meetings and tackling some difficult questions and issues. And I'm really excited about your work. And, we are willing partners with you. We want to do what's right for our Native American children and their families. Also want to thank Jay for serving as Indian education lead. I was inquiring about who might be willing to do that. He does not get paid extra for it, but he is so excited about doing it. He's told me several times that he really enjoyed that role this year, working with Phil and parents and others. And of course, Phil White for his work as our school home liaison for Native American programming. This is Phil's first year working in the school district, and has just really made a strong difference. And I see Nikki on the call. I can't go without thanking her as well, not just for working with the parent committee, but also her service on the school board. And she's such a strong advocate for really everyone, but especially the Dakota people and all Native American children. So that's so good to see. And then finally, I think all of us should be grateful for Prairie Island's continuing support. The $23,000 that flows to Prairie Island is just such, it doesn't come close to reimbursing, for everything that they do in hiring the liaisons who work with our kids during the school day. That's a significant expense for them. We use our Title VI dollars to just give a partial reimbursement, a really small reimbursement for that contribution, but really they've made a big difference. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk so long, but I wanted to express those feelings.
I have a comment to make. Phil, do you think there's any way we can get a list of those children? At least so we know who the parents are, who to reach out to. Because I would be willing to go door to door if I had to and fill out paperwork.
Yeah, I can get a list out to the parent committee. I did this a couple of months ago. I sent out letters to the families that didn't get or didn't fill out the Title VI forms, and we had a small handful of those families send them in.
I don't know that we can share that data. I don't think we can. However, so you have access to that data, Phil, right? But if you're
Yep.
talking with the family and you could ask that family if they wanted to work with somebody, then that family could reach out to Tina.
Okay.
That's I just think there's some confidentiality issues that we could possibly get in trouble for there.
Agreed. And what I had been doing, like I reached out to Rocky, and I invited him into the parent committee and stuff. And so I think would be a good idea is to reach out to our relatives and have them reach out to their relatives. And just to make sure that their relatives are informed and have them send them to us so we can help them with that paperwork. I think we're going to have to really use our indigenous thinking skills to go around respectfully. So we'll do it by that. Tina, what's at that? What are they? Smoke signals. That's what we use at work. With interdepartment communicate. So yeah, if we can just so this is every year, Phil, right?
Yes.
They have to. And when is it
No,
available?
not every year, just one time. It's just one time.
Just this one time. And do we have
Title
a deadline?
VI is just one time.
Okay. Do they have a deadline?
New incoming students, like kindergartners, need to fill it out, and it's only one time.
Okay. Or is it
But
if we
there
get
are
new
families out there that have like 6th, 7th graders that haven't filled it out yet.
Okay, so and then also with new students too, coming from different districts?
Yep.
Or,
Yep.
okay, so
Yep.
K through 12, one time only, and it's always open, just like an open enrollment form, but they have to get it filled out to receive these services, correct?
I mean,
And
for
we get more
grant
funding.
purposes, we need to have in at a certain time
Okay, what's
because
that
there's
time?
a cutoff date. I don't remember the dates on it.
It's
Okay.
usually in the winter. Early February is when we have to take a count on a certain day.
And so if we reach out to our relatives and get them to get the paperwork done, we have until February 2022?
Correct.
Okay, good to know.
Well, then maybe it would be better for whoever has access to go through the list and figure out who hasn't and who has, because then that way we don't have to be asking people who have already signed up, right?
Yep. And those are the letters that I sent out. I took a whole list and filled everything out and mailed out letters to all those families over the winter.
Yeah, and I know that it was brought up at several of our meetings before, not to have the children or parents fill out those applications. And I don't know why that was ever said, but maybe we can retract that at our quarterly meeting. That was at a quarterly meeting because I think a lot of people didn't participate in it because of the things that were, carried over for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, we had brought that up in the past about how we don't know who's participating or who's not because they were told not to.
Phil, this is Jane Wasink. I know we had talked about trying to make sure that 506 form is included in enrollment packets. So that gives the parent the chance to fill it out right along when they're filling out the others. And then that makes it easier for trying to have to go later than to try to get them. So I don't know if we've made progress on that.
Would it be possible? I mean, because for confidentiality reasons, so Phil and Jay are the only two people that have access to this list and that can go off of this list, correct? Jay? Karsten?
Phil and I have access to the list.
Okay.
But like,
I just think the best way is like the interperson, you know, being, because sometimes these families, you know, like I said, it's that oral, you know, that's how we are. And I think if we're having a barrier, maybe that's the barrier. So maybe just doing a little, like, I don't want to say door knocking. That's so not.
We actually used to do that. I don't know if Paul is here, but we actually used to go door to door and just
Yeah.
connect with the parents and explain what the form is and what the
Yes.
benefits of signing the form and that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know I personally need help with lots, even becoming on school board. They sent me this, like, this immigration, and coming from an American Indian, we have to sign pretty much our life away with all the paperwork. We have double the amount of paperwork that we have to do. But on our side, we get a lot of help with that. But having to do that, and I needed to even have help with some of the verbiage and things like that, because like I'm literally scared I'm gonna write something and I'm gonna get in trouble for it. That's a real fear for me. So I can't help but think that you know might be the same case for other people too.
And then the only other thing I had to talk about our budget is, do you know if there's going to be any type of funding put in there in place for the special needs for kids who have special needs? I know a lot of our children are having problems, and we could probably use more paras and more of that kind of support for them. And I'd like to see something put in the budget for that,
hey,
because it
Tina, I
seems like
think that's, go ahead.
we're having a lot of problems with us, and we're having problems in the school, and it would be nice to get some money allocated for that, especially
Let's
to
work
help
on
out,
that
you know,
with our
this.
money, Tina, with like our
Yep.
80,000, and then we'll work through like the general fund through Karsten and all that. But for these 20,000, I think we just got to take a vote, and I think you and I are the only parent. Oh, and Nikki, sorry, and Phil are the only parent committee members here. So I'm going to make a motion to approve the Title VI document as described by Mr. Jose. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And now, Phil, are you going to invite us to a different meeting so we can carry on kind of with what Tina was talking about and graduation and all the rest? Or
Yeah,
do we
I
just
think we just ask everybody else excused, and then we can stop the live stream, I believe.
Yep, that sounds good. Thanks again for letting us be part of your agenda today. Lisa, you can go ahead and stop the recording and the live streaming.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.